Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This week I'm bringing you episode 99 of my brand new Comics Haul series. That's right, episode 99, we're about to hit that big 100 next week. I asked you guys last week what you thought I should do for the big 100th episode, if there's any ideas. JD Hobbies was saying in the comment section that I could do like a live version. I've done a couple live streams on the channel. That seems like it could be a good idea. So let me know if you guys have any other ideas. I'll probably end up just doing a live stream or something like that if it's not just a normal episode. Let me know down in the comment section below. But this is a really big haul. I'm honestly kind of disappointed that this wasn't like my haul for next week because I've got a bunch of extra stuff. I've got 9 issues that I picked up for New Comic Book Day this week, so huge haul. But definitely would have been good for the 100th episode, but it is what it is. First of all, my shop had all this like Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania merchandise, right? So I got a few things here that I wanted to show because some of them are really weird. But first of all, we got this poster. Marvel does a good job on their posters. I figured I might put this up on the wall behind me or something. I have a Doctor Strange one up here if you can see it, kind of concealed there. So poster, always good to have. But then I wanted to show these two things here. This first one is really bizarre. I thought I'd open it up with you guys live for this New Comic Book Day. You can't really tell what it is just from this, but the shape of it, it's a t-shirt, right? So this is a small t-shirt. It might fit me. I'm usually a medium, but I want to try this on. So let's open this up. I have no idea why they're doing this. I guess it's like small because Ant-Man's small. But let's see if I can crack this open. And I'm curious to see like how big this will actually expand to be. It's supposed to be a men's small, I think. Marvel will do anything for marketing, I guess. Okay, let's take these cardboards off. This is like so condensed. It's still totally in its shape and everything. I could just keep it like this and put it somewhere, but let's see here. Let's open this up. This has been like riddled with wrinkles though, no matter what the deal is with how it's shaped. Okay, so it's got the logo on here. This looks like it's like a children's t-shirt or something. Oh gosh, that's terrible. Okay, I'm just trying to stretch it out a little bit and see if that does anything. I don't know if I see myself wearing this. I would like to because it's a nice t-shirt. We got the logo on the front. And then this in the back. As much as I would like to put this on over my t-shirt, I think I'll just look silly for the rest of it. But there you go. If you can find this at your local comic shop, it might be worth picking up if you want a t-shirt. I'm happy to have this. Hopefully I can somehow get the wrinkles out. Really weird item there. But the last one is just this hat. Like they're straight up just giving away button-back hats. I've been in the market for a new baseball cap, so happy to have this also. Yeah, so new Ant-Man and the Wasp hat. Make sure to look out for those merchandise. They also had like stickers at my local comic shop, so they're definitely doing some marketing for this movie. I've heard it has bad reviews though, which kind of sucks. It had like 50-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like the age of Marvel movies always being good is kind of over. We're 3 minutes into this recording though. I should probably get into the actual comics. I just wanted to show that stuff to you guys because I thought that t-shirt thing was really weird. So happy to have opened that up on camera, but we're just going to get right into these books. This is the series, my new Comics Haul series, where I show you guys every new release that I pick up every week from my local comic shop, and I tell you a little bit about every single issue. Let's just get right into it here. Like I said, I did get 9 issues in total, but none of them are really that big of releases, to be honest. Just ended up being a big week where a lot of the ongoing titles I pick up were released that are monthly. This first one, though, this is a big event. It's honestly probably my favorite Marvel comic on the stands right now. I've been highly recommending it since the start, but this is Avengers Forever number 14. More importantly, though, it's Avengers Assemble Part 7. So this is this like bi-weekly event, right? It's happening between the pages of Avengers Forever and the main Avengers title, which is just called Avengers. It's all written by Jason Aaron, and it's like the culmination of everything he's been doing in both of these Avengers runs so far. It's this huge multiversal story that has to do with Mephisto and his Council of Red that he's put together, which is like all the variants of him across the universe. He's trying to take down the Avengers at the beginning of time in every single universe, so that there never were Avengers and so that he never had adversaries. So there's just been like really big twists and turns with every new issue of this event. We've got this team of multiversal heroes and just huge battles going on. It's like the biggest story you could possibly tell on a really big scale. So stakes-wise, there's a lot going on here. And I know that not too many people are reading Jason Aaron's Avengers run in general anymore, so not too many people knew this event was happening, right? But it all kicks off with Avengers Assemble Alpha, which I've got in the case right there. And you can go from there. So really good event. I definitely recommend this. I've been hyping this up like way more than I should be. just giving Marvel some free marketing for whoever's watching these videos. But I do seriously recommend this. Very good event so far. Avengers Forever number 14, that's part 7, and it's going to be a 10-part event, should be wrapping up soon. And then Jed MacKay is taking over as the new Avengers writer after that. Marvel just announced that. Can't recommend this enough. If you haven't already tried it out, start from Avengers Assemble Alpha number 1. Next up, though, this is another ongoing Marvel title, is Hulk issue number 12. So someone at my local comic shop was pointing out to me that Donny Cates is actually listed as being a co-writer in this issue, which is interesting. He wasn't on the last couple issues. Those were done by Ryan Ottley, who is usually the artist on this series. Donny Cates was the ongoing writer, but he mysteriously dropped off of Thor and Hulk, which were his ongoing Marvel titles, a couple months ago. He's been having some delays. I'm not sure exactly what's going on behind the scenes, but Ryan Ottley wrote that last issue and drew it. I thought that one was just okay. Definitely wasn't very similar to anything else in the Hulk run, so he didn't do too good of a job to keep the same tonal, I guess just cadence that the first chunk of the series had when Donny Cates was still writing it. Really good artwork in here though, and to be honest, it kind of seems like as big as the as high as the concept is with this new Hulk planet arc, where we have Hulk visiting this new planet that was created by that gamma blast that happened in his battle with Thor, where it's all gamma-powered beings, all Hulk-like beings on this planet. Although that sounds like a really interesting idea, there's not much happening. It doesn't seem like this is going to affect the Hulk in the long run. So, interesting series so far. It's never been my favorite. I've kind of been talking down on it since it started in these new comics hauls that I do every week. But, yeah, it's wrapping up with number 14. Should be the last issue, written by Ryan Ottley. And who knows what's going on with Donny Cates, but maybe he'll come back to his title soon enough. Next up, though, this is a kind of big issue for anyone who's reading this series. This is a Fantastic Four, number 4, and this is the first issue where all 4 members of the team are all going to be reunited again, right? Those first 3 issues were each focusing on different members of the Fantastic Four. They've all been split up because of some sort of disagreement they have over this mysterious crater that was created in the middle of New York City. So we got to get some answers to that. We got to figure out what's actually going on. I really haven't been too big of a fan of this run so far, to be honest. It's a good read. I think Ryan North is a good writer in general. Crazy Alex Ross cover there, by the way. You can barely even tell what's going on. But my main problem with this series is just that I want to see the full Fantastic Four together, right? That was my favorite thing about Dan Slott's run, which was the one before this one, was just that he tackled each member of the family working together in their relationships with each other so well, and so far Ryan North hasn't been doing that. So I'll be really curious to see where this run goes from here. I think now that we're actually having the whole family together again, we can get a better understanding of what this run is going to be like long term. Damn, some emotional stuff going on with Reed Richards here. So curious to see what's going on here. Also, number 7, I think it was, might be number 6 of this series, is number 700 of legacy numbering, right? This is issue 697, so it should be number 7. And they're doing a big oversized Doctor Doom issue, so that's also something to look forward to. Still curious to see what's the deal with this series, but kind of a letdown compared to Dan Slott's run so far. We'll see though. Next up from Marvel Comics, I've got a couple more issues from them this week. These are both Spider-Man themed issues. This next one though, this is Mary Jane and Black Cat number 3. So it's not a dark web tie-in anymore like those first couple issues of this 5-issue miniseries were. But at the end of that last issue, they were still in limbo, right? We've got this plot where this demon from limbo has hired Mary Jane and Black Cat to find some sort of crystal or some heart of his. I forget honestly what was going on in that second issue. That a lot of demons in limbo are trying to find that could be valuable. To be honest, I really like the first issue a lot more than the second one. I'm just not too big of a fan of Mary Jane and Black Cat being in limbo to begin with. It kind of feels like it's a little bit out there, and I don't know exactly why. I guess it just feels too much like all the dark web stuff, and I kind of wish we had more going on for this miniseries, especially because now it seems like Limbo is just going to be the plot behind the entire miniseries, right? And I was hoping for a little bit more out of this Mary Jane and Black Cat series in general, but it's still really well written. I like the dynamic between them. Jed MacKay is writing this. He's one of the best writers in comics right now. Looking forward to that Avengers run from him, and Moon Knight is also one of my favorite ongoing series that he writes. That's Mary Jane and Black Cat number 3. Next up, though, I was just noticing something a little bit scumbag of Marvel in this issue, but this one is Spider-Man number 5. Crazy Mark Bagley cover there. This is that ongoing new Spider-Man adjectiveless companion title that Marvel's been putting out lately. This is End of the Spider-Verse Part 5, so we had that Edge of Spider-Verse mini-series that led into this, and this is kind of the third installment in the Spider-Verse trilogy, right? So it's a big multiverse-spanning story, right? I'll get to that thing I was talking about in a second, but Mark Bagley does a great job on the artwork here. We've had this new villain, not a new villain, but the villain of this arc is Shathra. She's been trying to take down all the spider totems. She's able to like take them over and turn them into her minions. But we were introduced to this new Spider-Man who is like from this reality in between realities that has like that comic book look to it. And Peter was stabbed by Shathra and turned into one of her minions. So he's kind of off the playing board for now, but now we've got this new side plot going on with this new version of Peter Parker. Interesting idea. I like Dan Slott's writing. I kind of wish he had stayed on Fantastic Four instead of going on to the Spider-Man title, though, because I think that was a lot better of a comic so far than this one is. But here's what I'm not liking about this issue. They charged you an extra $1. Marvel is experimenting with this a lot like DC has been. They're charging an extra $1 for this random Monica Rambeau Photon story, which, like, I'm interested enough in that character, but I'm not getting that new miniseries that came out about her. I'm just not interested enough to pay an extra $1, like, off the cuff in a Spider-Man issue, right? It's completely unrelated. I think, actually, now that I think about it, didn't she, like, first appear in an Amazing Spider-Man annual? Other than that, though, there's really no connection between the two characters. And the artwork in this backup story looks really, really bad, really simplistic, if I'm being completely honest. At least Spider-Man is in it, so it's connected to some extent, but we've got like no dialogue in these pages. I'm not appreciating that from Marvel. Hopefully they don't keep it up too long because it seems like they're like testing this out on books that might not be selling quite as like huge as other ones. Like they had this on Scarlet Witch and like Moon Knight last week, which might not be their like biggest selling books. So we'll see about this. Hopefully they don't keep it up too long because I'm not really liking just having random backup stories. That's Spider-Man number 5 though. Sorry, I went a bit of a tangent there. But I've got a few more issues left to show you guys this week. I know it's a really big haul. But these next couple are from Image Comics. First one here, this is 8 Billion Genies, number 7 of 8. So each issue of this series, and the concept basically is just that each person on Earth got one wish from a genie, and since then, each issue has been following like a different variable of 8, right? So the first issue is like the first 8 minutes after everyone was given a genie, and then the first 8 hours, so on and so forth. So now we're into like the first 8 decades, I think. So chances are a lot of the characters that were introduced in the first big chunk of the series are now going to be dead by the end of this, because they're going to have to be really old at this point, right? Each issue we also get like a page that shows what the world is looking like in general after all this time. We've been introduced to these different like utopia societies that have been constructed. Now that we're so far into it, there's a lot more going on. Things have kind of calmed down from the initial chaos of the genies. And this is a really interesting concept. It was optioned for a TV show, so that should be coming out at some point. And sales obviously blew up for this one. There's a bunch of third printing, stuff like that. I do recommend it. It's not like the best comic out there. I think it should take itself a little bit more seriously. I don't like the comedic aspect of it too much. I've talked about it before, but 8 Billion Genies, still a recommendation. Just this issue, and then one more should be like 8 centuries, something crazy like that. We'll see what they do with that. Definitely an interesting concept, though. Next up, though, we've got another Image comic, a $2 one. Image Comics coming in with the quality compared to that Marvel issue, right? Where you get 20 pages for like $5 plus an extra story that no one really asked for. Image Comics with a $2 price tag from Mark Miller, and you know, like good paper quality. The 20 pages you're supposed to get and everything. To be honest, though, Nightclub hasn't been too great of a comic. I've just been getting it because it's $2. The second issue picked up a little bit compared to that first one, to be honest. But I want to show some of the interior artwork here. It's kind of a simple concept. It's just about this teenage trio. They were kind of being bullied. They wanted to become social media influencers, so our main character was like doing parkour on a rooftop or something when he fell off and was like fatally injured, right? So in the hospital, this vampire turned him into a vampire and said that he could save his life that way and give him superpowers if he joined this team that's being put together. So then the main character obviously turned his friends, so now we've got the Nightclub, this trio. They're getting revenge on the bullies and stuff, and hopefully a little bit more happens from here. The plot is a little bit simplistic so far, but for $2, it's a pretty quality comic. It's not bad, and it's got a lot of potential. So Nightclub, issue number 3. Next up, though, this is another Image ongoing series. Not too sure how I'm feeling about this one lately, but this is Gunslinger, issue number 17. The artwork in here is really cool. Awesome covers also, and you get that $3 cardstock cover. So, I can't even remember too much about what's happening in this series lately. The artwork is super, super detailed by Brett Booth, though. This is the only Spawn's Universe title that Todd McFarlane himself is still writing. And that's my main pet peeve with this series, is just that the writing isn't too great. I'm not the biggest fan of Todd's writing style in general. Sometimes he comes up with some cool stuff, though, for these characters to do. And it's basically just Gunslinger Spawn. He's time displaced. He came from the 1800s, but now he's in the modern day and he's hunting down the descendants of all these people that were responsible for like the death of his sister back in the 1800s, and maybe getting flashbacks to tell us more about that. So interesting enough. This is the only Spawn's Universe title I am getting though, and luckily it doesn't seem like. Excuse me. Luckily, it doesn't seem like there's too much connection between them lately. So, Gunslinger issue number 17. We'll see about that series. Pretty far into it now, though. But lastly, I know this is a really long video. I had a lot to get through here, guys. But this last one that I picked up, this is Grimm issue number 8. Also, a pretty good series so far. This new arc since issue number 5, there's a new one starting at 6. It's been a little bit confusing. With this one, we don't really get any like recap page or anything like that. So it's a little bit hard to keep on top of what's going on. What I do remember from last issue, though, is that our main character, Jessica Harrow, who's been revealed to be the daughter of the Grim Reaper, among all these other Grim Reapers whose job it is to rally the dead, to the afterlife, she has been our main character along with her friends, but last issue, somehow the ability to die was taken away from patients in the hospital, from everyone on Earth. So we saw the chaos of that and the horror of it. All these people that just want to die in the hospital because of the pain that they're in. So interesting concepts in here, and the artwork is really colorful and really well done. Definitely liking this so far. It looks like some sort of dream sequence or something. Grimm is still a recommendation from me. I think it started off a little bit stronger. Those first couple issues were like really, really good storytelling. It's dropped off from there in my opinion, but there's a lot of hype around this one. People saying it's the next Something is Killing the Children. I don't know about that, but it's definitely a pretty good issue, or a pretty good series in general. That's it for me today, though. I appreciate any of you guys who watched all the way till the end. I know this was a lot longer than my usual content, so I appreciate you guys for that. Let me know if you're seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp down in the comment section below. And next week we've got that big 100th episode. I probably will do a live version, but like I said, if you have any other ideas, let me know all that down in the comment section below. And let me know what you guys picked up this week. If you're not already subbed up to the channel, if you've been enjoying the content, then make sure to do that. We're getting closer and closer to that 500 subscriber milestone. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll see you next week for that big 100. Bye, guys.